Well, I'm back. I know I've been gone for a while. Sometimes life just gets in the way and things happen. But I'm back on schedule. Hope to start putting out my videos once a week again like I've done in the past. And thanks to all of you for hanging in there with me. This week, I want to talk about used drones. Is this something you should consider for your new or existing business? So stick around. I'll give you my thoughts. In my previous videos, I've talked mostly about high-end drones and new drones. But what about the used market? Here's a snapshot of the current drones in use around the country. Currently, according to the FAA, there are 865,828 drones registered. Of those, 342,357 are commercial drones, and 519,933 are recreational drones. Now, in terms of pilots, we have 247,062 remote pilots certified. In addition to that, we've got 117,145 trust completion certificates. Now, if you're not familiar with that, the trust certificate is something that's required of a recreational pilot. They need to go online, take this sample test, so that they're fully aware of the current rules and regulations surrounding operation of their drone. So what does that mean to us? Well, let's make some assumptions here. Of those 342,000 commercial drones, let's assume they're in use, a lot of hours on them. They're probably not something we're interested in. But the 519,000 recreational drones, that's an interesting category, because in my opinion, most recreational flyers probably bought these things on an impulse. And after a while, a lot of these people are going to get bored and want to sell them. That's where the market is for buying used drones. Something with low hours, not a lot of time, hopefully no crashes on them. So why should you buy used? Let's take a couple of examples. Let's look at the DJI Phantom 4 version 2.0. If you buy that new, with the Fly More package, which most people do, you're looking at about $2,000. If you look at the used market, I've seen anywhere between $1,200 and $1,400 with those same or maybe even more accessories associated with them. So that's a pretty good savings. Let's look at another hot one. How about the Mavic 2 Pro? Same kind of scenario. New with the Fly More package, you're looking at around $2,000. Used market? They're running $1,200 to $1,400. So there is a good bit of savings to be had there if you look around. So now we got to determine how we go about looking for a good used drone. First, where do we find them? Well, my first recommendation would be DJI. If you go to their store, type in refurbished, that'll bring up a list of available refurbished drones. Now, unfortunately, with the supply chain problems we've got in the world these days, there are less available than there used to be, but it's still worth looking. And you can save a few $100s buying a refurbished drone from DJI. Plus the fact, when you get that drone, it's basically brand new. I've bought several that way and I've been very satisfied with that, and saved a few bucks to boot. Another good option is B&H Photo out of New York. I buy all my camera gear there, but I've also bought used drones from them. And the good thing about them is if they give you a rating, if they say the drone is in good condition, I guarantee you it's an excellent. If you buy it excellent condition, it's basically brand new. So they certainly underrate the quality of what their drones are. Another good option, save some money that way. How about Amazon? They've got something called Renewed. Now that's a relatively new term. And if you look it up, they say, well, we've had it inspected by our IT department or our electronics department. We've thoroughly gone through it. It meets certain specifications and so on. I have had zero luck going with Renewed electronics products. So I would say stay away from the Renewed option. What about eBay? Good old eBay. Lots of drones on eBay. The only problem I have with that is you can't physically touch it, hold it, see it fly, look for defects. I think it's risky. So depending on how you feel, I probably would avoid that. That leaves us with Craigslist. Good old Craigslist. Find anything you want on that, right? And the good thing about that is you can actually meet with somebody see the drone, have them fly it, feel it, touch it, and see if it's what you want. So that's another good option. But let's say you do that, then how are you going to evaluate if the drone that's being sold is something you want to buy? Let's look at some ideas here. The first and biggest thing is, will the owner demonstrate it for you? If he's got every reason in the world why he can't, the app's corrupted, my batteries are dead, this, that, and the other, I don't have the time, I'd say walk away. If you can't see it fly, I'm not sure you want to buy it. If he is able to fly it, look at the app. And on this opening screen, if you go to the upper right-hand corner and click on that, it'll bring down some options, and you see flight records. Click on flight records. That'll show you the total hours and total distance that drone has flown. That's a good indicator of how much it's been used. If it's flying, look at the horizon. Is it level? Is it tilted? That'll show you if there's anything wrong with the gimbal. Then do a physical inspection. Look at the hull. Look at my Phantom 3 here. This thing's been in the program since we started the school 5 years ago. It's got some damage. Look how the hull is bowed out here. That's from hitting a tree. If I turn it around here, look at the mount for the gimbal. That's cracked and broken. Same tree incident there. So those things will give you indicators of how roughly the drone's been treated. Look for prop damage. Are they nicked? Are they cracked? Are they green? That's a joke I make to my class. When I know to replace a prop is when it turns green. Why does a prop turn green? Landing in the grass too many times. Check the motors. If you take the motors and turn them by hand and feel any roughness in them, there could be a problem there. So make sure you check that out. Check the life of the battery. Now this is something you may not be aware of. You can see it in your app. It'll tell you total number of recharges. And remember, most batteries only last about 300 cycles. So you can check it in the app, but if you don't have access to that, here's another way to do it. If you take the battery, press and hold the button for 5 or 6 seconds, look what happens. Okay, I've got one blinking light there. That tells me I've got about 75% battery life left in that battery. If you do that, and there's one light left blinking, that means most of that battery's lifetime is used up. So that's a good indicator for you. You could check all the batteries like that. So if everything checks out and you want to purchase the drone, remember it should have a registration number associated with it, and make sure the existing owner goes to the drone zone and removes that. That way you've got a clean unit, start over, register on the drone zone to your own account, and be ready to fly. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some good tips on how to search for a used drone. There's a great market. I bought them used, I bought them refurbished, and had really good luck with that. So good luck with that. Let me know your own stories if you've had good or bad luck with any of these things I've talked about, or even other ideas. And as usual, I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And if you feel like sharing with your friends, please do so. That would be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you so much for watching.